Thanks for checking out this haul video. So I'm going to go over all of the Vinegar Syndrome January releases that I got. I'm going to release a second video, not quite sure when I'm releasing that, of the other stuff I picked up during their subscriber week sale. So those are just all, well, it would be partner label stuff that was released in January, plus all the stuff that they had on special sale that I ended up picking up. This is just what they released in January that's Vinegar Syndrome stuff and Vinegar Syndrome adjacent, like Cinematograph, DeGosser, stuff like that. Although I will tell you right now, I did not purchase any of the Cinematograph because I'm trying to not purchase everything, and also they didn't look super interesting to me for what they are. But this is my stack so far. I did kind of consider getting Bang the Drum Slowly because Michael Moriarty is in it, and I love his acting, but I think it's one I'm just going to kind of watch, and if it's on a special deal later on, maybe I'll pick it up then. But anyway, let me go ahead and get into this. As usual, I will do a review and ranking video of all of these movies for their January, because I do that for each month. Talking about, how I like the movie, how I like the release overall, and the special features and everything. So you can wait for that. I don't know exactly when. It might be a few weeks, maybe 2 or 3 weeks, because it's going to take a lot of time to get through all these movies and special features and essays and all that stuff. And then also, I think that's it. Okay, anyway, let's get into it. So the first thing, I did get my replacement disc for Looking for Mr. Goodbar, which was one of my favorite releases of Vinegar Syndrome's last year. I thought it was a phenomenal film. Got that replacement disc. They had said initially that it wasn't going to go out until February, so I guess they got it earlier. I also picked up the Cutting Class slipcover with my VSMC points, Media Club points, because I have this movie. I have the standard, and I quite like it, and I'm planning on keeping it, and I like this artwork, so I was like, I'll use some points to get this, so I did that. Now getting into the movies ranked from what I am least interested in watching to what I am most interested in watching, so the last one is what I'm most excited about, but this first one, I'm still interested in it, but it's not a type of film I would seek out myself, because it seems like it's probably a bit more serious and like supposed to be like messed up and disturbing. And that is Deranged: Confessions of a Necrophile. I've heard this is a good film. I've seen a lot of people who are super excited about it coming out. There you go. I like the artwork on it. It's cool. It's a 4K. That's the original artwork. And then on the inside, they have a essay booklet, which I'm all about having an essay booklet, and both the discs just have that on it. So let's read it. Ezra Cobb leads a simple life on his isolated family farm with his overbearing, God-fearing mother, who spends her days ranting about the evils of women and the sins of the flesh. When Ma Cobb suddenly and violently expires, Ezra is plunged into a deep despair, and his already troubled mind crosses over into full-blown psychopathy. Racked with loneliness, Ezra begins plundering the local graveyard to obtain companions to bring home with him, starting with his dear mother, whom he props up in her bed and holds conversations with. But soon, even this collection of cadavers isn't company enough for old Ez, and he decides to turn his attention to fresher subjects. Yes, this was actually based off of Ed Gein, actual known like serial killer. So that's one of the reasons that I'm not like super excited about it. I don't really like those types of films for the most part. Although other iterations of stuff that was based off of Ed Gein, like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I do enjoy that from time to time. I don't seek it out. Silence of the Lambs, stuff like that. But Deranged, we'll see. I mean, I'm optimistic, but it's what I'm least excited about, so we'll see. But 4K nonetheless, so I'll be interested to see how that is. Plus essays. I always love the essays, so I'm excited it's got essays. Okay, the next one is a 3-pack of films, and this is Curse of the Devil, Demon Witch Child, and the Vampire's Night Orgy. I love this artwork. This artwork is phenomenal. That's fun as well. And then we got this and this. Lots of cool artwork with this one. And on the inside. And then the discs. Unfortunately, no essay booklet for this one. But let's read about these movies. I don't know if I want to. Okay. From bloodier and sexier reimaginings of gothic tropes to shameless homespun ripoffs of international hits, 70s Spanish horror films offered wild and unforgettable delights for audiences domestically and abroad. Three key names working in the genre: Carlos Ared, Leon Klimovsky, and Armando de Osorio, helped define and refine what genre films in Spain became most infamous for. So then it's these films, plus special features, obviously. And Curse of the Devil. In Curse of the Devil, director Carlos Ared's second collaboration with star Paul Naschy, lycanthrope Waldemar Daninsky is back, doomed to become a bloodthirsty werewolf as punishment for his family's involvement in centuries-old witch trials. Co-written by Naschy, actually. Had some gruesome gore in it. So, I mean, that one sounds kind of interesting. Then The Vampire's Night Orgy. In The Vampire's Night Orgy, director Leon Klimovsky skillfully integrates a suspenseful vampire film with a tense survival thriller as a busload of travelers become stranded in an eerie village where each night after dark, the townspeople transform into ravenous bloodsuckers. Yeah, that one sounds more fun to me. And then the final one, Demon Witch Child. In Demon Witch Child, one of the first and most shameless European reimaginings of The Exorcist. Okay, interesting. Director Armando de Osorio revels in over-the-top trashiness as innocent tween Susan Barnes becomes possessed by demonic forces after a vengeful witch gives her a strange cursed doll. From lo-fi spinning torsos to late-night human sacrifices. Oh, dang. Okay, yeah, that one sounds fun. This is sounding more fun than I initially thought, but still, like, I'm not, like, super excited about it. Also, this is really tight to get it back into here. It's, like, super tight. It's never this tight, but I know I just said tight a lot. Anyway, this 3-pack. Still interested in it. So the next one was, those two were included with my subscribership. The next one is one that was not. I got this in addition. This is one of their Vinegar Syndrome Labs movies, and that is The Terrornauts. This kind of looks like one of those, like, really crappy, ridiculous, like, old sci-fi films. Again, really digging on this artwork, and that must be the original artwork. And then on the inside, oh yeah, it's just the same thing on there, but that's the disc. Scientist Joe Burke is determined to prove the existence of alien life and to set up a powerful radio telescope to look for signs. One night after months of failure, he detects a clear but faint communication emerging from the deepest reaches of space. Excited by his findings, he rushes to his nearby research quarters. No sooner than arriving, the entire building, including its occupants, is lifted into space by a mysterious extraterrestrial force. After docking on a spacecraft, the frightened abductees realize that they have been selected to participate in a dangerous mission, the success of which will determine the fate and survival of Earth. Yeah, like I said, it looks like one of those, like, really, like, older, I think it's from, like, the 60s. Yeah, 67. It looks like one of those older sci-fi films that, like, you can just watch with buddies and kind of laugh about now because it doesn't look great and it's kind of ridiculous. So, pretty interested in that one. Then the next one is one a lot of people were super excited about, and that is one that was put out by their Degosser line, which is like their shot on video and those types of films. Iced. It is a slasher that's apparently been gone for a while. There is a situation with this one apparently where another company ended up, I think TerraVision ended up finding better elements to do the movie from, but by the time they found it, Vinegar Syndrome already had a deal. And so, unfortunately, this is not what you have released. Like, this is going to be the best it ever looks, even though it actually could have looked better. But based off where the rights went, and, you know, neither party knew. Like, Vinegar Syndrome apparently didn't know that a better print existed, and TerraVision didn't know that Vinegar Syndrome had the rights. So it's just like, you know, it's an unfortunate thing that just kind of happened. But excited to check this film out. A group of friends head off for a fun-filled getaway in the snowy mountains where they've unexpectedly been offered a free stay at a luxury ski resort. Once they arrive at their cabin, however, the high spirits are soon dampened when they discover a newspaper clipping concerning the tragic death of their friend Jeff during a ski trip 4 years earlier. It's clear that someone holds the group responsible for the accident. Sure enough, as the friends settle in for a cozy winter vacation full of skiing, sexual intrigue, and naked cocaine binges, okay, a mysterious figure in ski gear and cracked goggles stalks the surroundings, intent on picking them off one by one in a variety of gruesome ways. Yep, typical like slasher thing. What intrigues me most about this is the location. I like slashers in particular that have kind of not shooting locations that aren't used often. So that appeals to me a lot about this one. So Iced. All right, so my movie that I'm third most interested in, if I can get it out. It's been one of those weeks. This is this is a 4K. This is one of their big, fat, chunky releases. This is Virtuosity. I like the design on this one. And it's, again, it's Denzel Washington, Russell Crowe. That's what you can see on the inside. Not a whole lot. Essay booklet. Yeah. Very excited about an essay booklet. Love the essay booklets, as I said. And then, let me get this out here. The movie itself. Yep, 4K. There's the original artwork, which looks horrible. I mean, that's terrible original artwork. All right. The near future, a virtual reality company is completing the development of a highly sophisticated training simulator designed to give police a taste of how to handle the dangers they might encounter in the field while tracking and apprehending criminals. Again, with these run-on sentences, Vinegar Syndrome. In order to perfect this state-of-the-art technology, prisoners are selected based on their skills and toughness and forced to serve as test subjects. Amongst the chosen inmates is Parker Barnes, an ex-cop serving time for circumventing the law and taking justice into his own hands. When one of the software's most lethal virtual criminals, Sid 6.7, an amalgamation of vicious sadists and serial killers throughout history, figures out how to jump from the computer world into the real world through the use of nanotechnology, the company behind the program quickly attempts to cover up their malfeasance. As Sid 6.7 runs amok on the streets of LA, leaving a trail of bloody violence in his wake, the police reluctantly admit that they are powerless to stop him. Their final hope is to enlist the help of Barnes, the only man to defeat Sid 6.7 in the virtual world, in order to put an end to his flesh and blood reign of terror before any more innocent lives are taken. Yeah, so Russell Crowe plays Sid 6.7, and Barnes is played by Denzel Washington. This film looks fun. I never saw this movie back in the, 90s? What was it? What year? 95. So very interested to check it out. Some people have said online that it's kind of like a ripoff of Terminator 2 in a bunch of ways. So Virtuosity. Very excited to watch that. Now, the one I'm second most excited about, this was one of their VSA releases that I had to purchase as well. Oh, also Iced was an additional purchase. Virtuosity was an additional purchase. And Crack House, their VSA, is also an additional purchase. This looks totally up my alley. I saw a lot of people saying, like, this is like the roots of what Vinegar Syndrome was when they started up these types of films. Someone said it's like a mixture of like an after-school PSA about don't do drugs and an exploitation film. This is just it's not a booklet, it's a poster. All right, teenage sweethearts Melissa and Rick are looking forward to graduating high school so they can at least escape the violent inner city neighborhood in which they grew up. Despite trying to distance himself from his past gang affiliations, Rick ends up being thrown into prison after seeking violent vengeance on the rival gang that murdered his cousin. Now alone and left to fend for herself, Melissa is targeted by a charming low-level drug dealer named BT, who manipulates her into joining his world of sex and drugs. As Melissa's life begins spiraling out of control, Rick offers to help the police take down a notorious drug kingpin named Stedman in exchange for immunity. But will he be able to save Melissa before she is pulled deeper into a deadly lifestyle from which few can escape? Sounds like a lot of fun. I watched the trailer on that one. It looks ridiculous and ridiculously fun. So I am all about it. Crack House, the one I'm second most excited to check out. And that leaves this 2-pack of movies as the one I'm most excited about, because I watched the trailer for this one too, and I was like, Yeah, that looks like a lot of fun, and it's up my alley. This one was included with my subscribership, and that is the 2-pack of Witch from Nepal and the Seventh Curse. Love this artwork, too. I mean, a lot of their artwork is phenomenal, but this in particular, I'm into. Again, essay booklet. Wow, those are loud colors. Those colors are loud. I like it, though. They look cool. All right, and then got that artwork. That artwork. And this. And then the discs. All right. Golden Harvest was one of Hong Kong's biggest and most prolific producers of big-budget genre films, with titles ranging from martial arts adventures to grisly horror and thrillers. Presented here are a set of genre-defying and genre-blending classics that skillfully intertwine horror, action, fantasy, and generally jaw-dropping weirdness. That says me to a T. Like, that's what I'm interested in. Okay, so The Seventh Curse. This is a Hong Kong film in Cantonese and English. Oh, there's an English version. Dr. Yuan is a world-famous adventurer whose exploits have found him playing everything from hostage negotiator to exploring the most offbeat corners of the globe. While in the jungles of Thailand, Dr. Yuan rescues a young woman from a bloodthirsty supernatural sect named the Worm Tribe as they attempt to sacrifice her to their ancient evil deity. After a Worm Tribe elder forces the doctor to swallow a handful of bullets, interesting, Dr. Yuan becomes afflicted by the 7 blood curses, which cause the bullets to burst from his body. Wow. Determined to find a cure before the 7th and final curse takes his life, Dr. Yuan returns to the jungle where he must defeat the Worm Tribe and other unexpected supernatural obstacles. That sounds phenomenal. Phenomenal. Okay, now, Witch from Nepal. Joe and his girlfriend travel to Nepal to escape their busy lives. However, their vacation takes an unwelcome turn when Joe is injured while on safari and goes missing. Once found, he is brought to a hospital where a mysterious woman tells him that he's been chosen to be the leader of a mystical tribe in order to fight against an evil sorcerer. Upon returning to Hong Kong, Joe tries to forget about his ordeal. However, the mysterious woman tracks him down, and the two soon fall madly in love. Unfortunately, a sorcerer is also in Hong Kong searching for the mysterious woman, and Joe soon finds himself embroiled in a savage fight between good and evil. Also sounds fun. So yeah, most excited for that. And that's it for this video. Like I said, I'm going to do the other one with the partner labels and the special deals they had during the subscriber week sale. But excited. So yeah, would love to hear from you at this point. Go ahead and put some comments down. Not just like Vinegar Syndrome related, doesn't have to be that. Although if you want to comment on some of these films, feel free, whether you've seen them or not. Also, if you picked them up or not, what are you excited for? What sounds the best to you out of these? Always interested in that, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, Deranged, and it's like my least exciting. And also, what have you picked up recently? That's another thing. It doesn't have to be Vinegar Syndrome related, just whatever you picked up. But please consider helping me out with my channel. Subscribing is always a great way to show support. Thumbs up on the video is a great way to show support. If you want to pitch in a little bit monetarily, I do have memberships available, 2 tiers. There are a very small amount of money each month for some perks with the channel. There's a link in the description for that. Also, I don't say this very often, but I always include it in the description for these videos. I have my email in the description, and you can send me an email if you want a code that you can use for $5 off your first purchase through Vinegar Syndrome. You have to have not purchased through them before, and I get like some of their media club points for that. But if you're interested, let me know. If you're not, that's fine. But anyway, we'd love to hear from people. Thank you very much for your time, and until next time, keep it brutal.